Well, I figured I'd give you guys a tour of a 31-year-old riding mower, and I'm restoring, like new condition. I got some political message for you guys. It's going to be voting day very shortly. But anyway, this is U.S. made. There's a little tag here, right there. It says "Made in the USA." I got to keep the camera strap out of the way. This is my new super duper camera. There it is. It's all there. This thing, they pulled a trick back in 1991 or 92 when Troybilt was going to China. They were leaving the heads loose on these motors, and somebody beat this one up with a ratchet. They didn't understand how to work on it because they're a fucktard. But back then, we didn't have the inner screen to learn about repairing this stuff. But as you can see, even with the dirt, there's very little here. Everything's like brand new. There's literally no rust, no nothing. And the only reason why I repainted it is must have been stored in like a shed or whatever, some kind of barn or whatever. And they must have stored the thing and probably got moisture through the roof or whatever. And then they finally took it to the salvage yard where I found it on a trailer with the kid that told me that it was his dad's and he used it for about 6 months and that head gasket come loose and they had to park the damn thing. And it was forgotten about ever since back in the shed. So it made sense with the stains that were on the paint because the tires are all up, they all hold air. There's no dry rot. The thing was inside, and after I washed off the gook, all the oil and everything from the failed head gasket, she's basically in perfect condition, except for the moisture that set in. But there is no rust on not on the metal, not on anything. It's like new inside and out. So my political message is I've had a hard time myself with the police, the institutions that are running this country. And you figure who would vote for Joe Biden? Who would vote for a retard like Biden? Well, those are people, when you see those big homes, they have their investments all in China, Chinese companies and stuff. And they're a minority of people because most people believe in us, our craftsmanship, just like this old U.S. made, Troy built. They've taken our industry, they've taken our identities away. That's what they when they say about our identity. We used to make quality stuff, and yes, it costs money, but then yes, you used to earn money. We had our own economy. Then they're trying to trade our economy for the communist economy. And then when Gaddafi wanted to go to a whole new level and have a gold investment economy, well, then that's where Hillary Clinton got involved with her stooges. So it's like your local police and your local municipal governments. They're stooges. They're arm twisting fucking thugs. Pennsylvania State Police, I have a problem with them because they just spread some scuttlebutt about me. Uh, I think they discovered that I'm going to shit all over them every time that they fucking say something. We have $62 billion in road funds money missing, and we're just starting to get some of our roads paved and repaired. It's People don't realize what is at stake in this country at this point right now. Do you want to buy a 31-year-old riding mower? The reason why I put money into it is because I'll use it. I will buy it. I will use it. Why? Because you buy that shit that's on the counter with plastic camshafts, plastic gears, and stuff that fails. This doesn't. And it also throws grass just as good as a 22 horsepower Briggs with this L-head engine that's in it because it wasn't junk. Sorry, I have a machine running in the background. Maybe I can shut that off. Things are not what they used to be. In order for us to get back together in unity with this country, we have a lot of institutions destroyed. And number one is our legal institution. You don't have recourse when something goes wrong in your life to go to the court systems because they're corrupt. If you have a lot of money, they'll go your way. But if you don't have a lot of money, if you're an average person like me and they try to jam you up, it's the reason why I made my videos from the inception that I have video cameras here. I got a video camera everywhere because I will record what's going on because the police have jammed so many people up with false allegations in order to make profit. They don't give a shit. They don't have a conscience. I told you about Carbon County, Lehigh County, Northampton, Luzerne. These sons of bitches, they locked their own mother up so they could steal from her purse. I swear to God. And that goes for every goddamn cop in these jurisdictions. There ain't a goddamn good one that I've found. Okay? They're all stooges. And it's the problem with Antifa and the rest. I support their point. I don't support the violence. The court systems, the current systems that we have, the public pretenders on the public payroll, you know what? It's all got to go. Okay? The Constitution went. So when you go to court, they don't care whether your civil rights were violated. Okay? Like my incident way back when. They don't give a shit about that. They give a shit about the bottom line of taking that money out of your wallet, your hard-earned money. They care about stealing from you. Now that there's video, the advent of video, it's not as easily perpetrated. And especially when they know a camera's involved. And that's why they tell them, you get that camera off of me, because I'm an asshole. You know what, asshole? I'm going to keep the camera on you. And then I'm going to pull a 45 ACP and I'm going to shoot you in the fucking face. That's the way it goes. Okay? We have too much of it. Every government avenue is corrupt. From the municipal level, the magistrates, on up to the bigger courtrooms. In Pennsylvania, you don't have a fucking chance. So, in some places, Antifa is right. Black Lives Matter is right. You don't need to be in a car with your buddies and your buddy's a fucking idiot behind the wheel. There's 60 in there. You're all 16 years old. And all of a sudden, some white cop comes along and shoots you. I don't agree with it, okay? I was there when I was in buddies' cars when they were a little too inebriated to be behind the wheel. It's lucky at times when I look back on my life that I lived to be as old as I am. But then I got the military life, okay? We got to get rid of the current system that we have, and we got to get back to building products. Like my bikes, can't get quality products. People were fucking screwed. I only took 1 or 2 orders, thank God. And those people will eventually get their shit. But it's been a holocaust. I like Salty Cracker that's on there. But I wanted to compliment a few guys like Dylan McCool, Vice Grip Garage, and the other guy that hangs out with him there, that the Junkyard Digs or whatever. Because a couple of times those clowns thought I made derogatory comments towards them and they got all sensitive when it was just humor. Pennsylvania Dutch, we got a real freaking arcane sense of humor at times. You got to tolerate it, especially if I toss a comment your way. And sometimes people don't know what they're talking about. We got into these L4Q engines and all that other dumb fucking shit. It was a serial number sequence, LQ4. It has nothing to do. All the 4.8, 5.3 GM engines, they're all the same. Okay? But it goes like our current administrative municipal governments. They're all the fucking same. They're all corrupt. They're all out to take money out of your pocket and not do a goddamn honest day's work in their life. We have a problem here in Hazleton, Pennsylvania, and surrounding communities where there's trash all over the fucking roads. Because you put your garbage out and the cocksuckers don't want to pick up your garbage and they want to stick you with a fucking bill. So I had to get a private collector and they're still sticking me with a fucking bill. And then they'll put a lien against you because they're fucking corrupt. Okay? They're just, you got your cock in your hand with this... until we get real law enforcement and constitutional reassertions, we're in a real problem with our country. But we need to get constitutionally reconstituted. Whether Trump's going to get that done under his administration or the next, we don't know. But we need to get reconstituted. We're Native Americans ourselves. We don't wear a headdress. And I back those guys too. I back the Crow, the Navajo. They're down there in Texas next to me. And they were actually a lot of assholes next to my property until the chief stepped in and I started talking to him and his sheriff and all that. Chief Constable. And we call him Sitting Ass because he's kind of a fat guy or whatever. But actually, his name, they call him Anthony. I don't know whether his legitimate name is Tony. He never really told me what his name is. But I know him as White Hawk. Other than sitting fat ass or whatever. I hate to say that about you, Tony, because I like it. I like the man. I walked into his office. I got business done in a municipal government. This guy is municipal government for part of the Crow Nation in Texas that's there, that exists next to my property. I walked in. I talked to that man, and he had nothing bad to say. He was all receptive. Now, I can't say so much to the other stooges when I went on the nation's property inquiring about them, and they gave me the runaround. I got the entire fucking tour of the place, and all I did was spend some gas money. But it's funny how people, when they want to cooperate, and how when we want to cooperate with each other, that we can communicate with each other. Why can't it be done with the white man's government? Why can't it be done in our government? You can walk in a courthouse, you can tell these people, this is my plight, this is my problem, let's straighten it out. Why can't we do that? Why can't we do that as adults? In 2020, we can't do too fucking much. You got to get a lawyer, and the lawyer's a fucking stooge. He works with the same fucking stooges that are against you. So what's the difference in hiring? He's going to work it out for you for a couple of bucks. Here, I'll give you a couple of pesos out of my wallet. And he grabs the pesos and then he tells you, hey, I can't really help you. You know, you're on your own. Screw fucking you, U.S. government, municipal government, our courthouses, especially this fucking Luzerne County. They really need an enema here in Luzerne County. Kids for Cash, need to remind you of that. Pennsylvania State Police, from Harrisburg on down line. Verizon, another company. They fuck you with all these. I'm getting nothing but spam calls, telemarketers, and then when I'm on my phone, they're ringing and the call waiting's cutting off the legitimate customer I'm trying to talk to. You know what? Shit has its end. You too, Verizon. You suck. You literally suck. Take it to heart, guys. There are people that are out there, but before you pull that lever, hold on. Mr. Air Compressor decided to have a little fun at my expense. Before you pull those voting levers, make sure of who and what you're voting for. You get that person, you take a good look at them. And if there isn't a good look at them on that internet, on that inner screen, don't vote for them. So that's my message from Uncle Dutch. And I hope I got my message through. Let me find out what button I got to press to shut this off.